Okay, shalom. This is part 2 to the video of who are the true biblical Jews, their skin color, and who are they? Okay, according to the Bible. This is Officer Sharasha 50, Rochester, New York, ISUPK, coming out of 1 West 125th Street under commanding General Yahanna. Like to say Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai Barakathum to the brothers, and Yahweh Shemalatha Bashem to Yahweh Shai to the sisters. And what we do is we go out there and teach so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans their true nationality according to the Bible, because a lot of we've been put under a lot of bywords and proverbs and stuff like that. So when you get asked 5, 6 different brothers and sisters what's your nationality, one to tell you he's African American, one to tell you he's Afro American, one to tell you he's Asiatic, Black American, um, all type of stuff. You ask the so-called Hispanics, and they'll say I'm Puerto Rican. Some will say a wetback. Some will say, it's stuff like that. So we're gonna go into it. We're gonna go start with Deuteronomy chapter 27, verse 1. And Moses with the elders of Israel commanded people, saying. So Moses sat with the elders of Israel, all the elder people that basically kept the community intact and stuff like that, kept everything in check. Commanded the people, saying, "Keep all the commandments, which I command you this day." Because as you know, Moses went up to the mountain and he spoke to the Most High, and that's how he got the law. It wasn't just the 10 Commandments. He got all. He got all. He got most of the law. Okay. So they're telling the people to keep the commandments, keep all the commandments, not some of them, not part of them, all of them. All right. Keep all the commandments which I command you this day. All right. So that's letting you know, keep all the commandments. Don't try to go out. A lot of the Christians say you can't eat shrimp, crab, lobster. I mean, you could eat shrimp, crab, lobster, that's against the Bible. It goes to Leviticus 11 and 7. You can as far as in the water, you can only eat certain things. If it has fins and scales, you can eat it, that live in the water. All right, so no more, no less. Fish with fins and scales, you can eat it. Shrimp, crab, lobster, you cannot touch. And other stuff, octopus, all type of stuff like that. All right, so let's get to Deuteronomy 28 and 1. All right. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass. So this is a prophecy that was given back then. All right. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God. So he's is basically being said, if you hearken diligently, hearken is basically to listen. All right. So when you hearken to somebody like let's if a grown up was to tell you hearken to what I tell you, that's pretty much them telling you better listen to what I'm saying. All right. So you shall hearken diligently. Diligently is to the best of your ability. Uh just do it. All right. Unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, not some of them, not half of them, not a partial of them, all of them. All his commandments which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. Because there was a time where we were on top. All the nations of the earth, they had to come to us for food, whatever the case may be. We had everything. But it's clearly saying that as long as we're doing all his commandments, then we'll be placed on high. And right now, as you can see, we're not placed on high. Okay. People want to be out there killing each other, not loving their brother, getting high, doing drugs, want to do drive-bys on their brother over a Facebook post or something like that. So in that situation, we're not going to be at the top like we should, like we were supposed to be. All right. Let's get down to 28 and 15. Let's go to verse 15. Okay. So, Salakia. Okay, verse 15. But it shall come to pass if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God. So this right here was basically this is the other end of the stick. All right. So it's if you follow all the commandments, then you're gonna be on high. You're gonna have all the riches. You're not gonna really have to worry about it. Well, you're gonna be in heaven. All right. All right. All right. But it shall come to pass if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So right there is basically saying if you don't follow the commandments, then you're gonna be cursed. You're gonna go through it. You feel me? You're gonna get a job only to lose it a few days later. All right. You're gonna get gunned down by police. All right. High blood pressure. All type of stuff. All right. Um, these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. This is verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. So who's the ones that's cursed in the city right now? All right, who can't walk down the street to go get some candy and something to drink without getting shot by a random white guy? Okay, who can't go to the park, play with a little toy cap gun to where they get killed by the police? Who can't do anything? You feel me? You can't do nothing. All right, damn if you do, damn if you don't. You walk into the store, you're getting followed around because everyone think you're trying to steal something. You know, you walk down the street because it's cold with a hoodie on, they think you look suspicious. Even if it's daytime and you don't have a hoodie on, you look suspicious. Okay. So cursed shalt thou be in the city and cursed shalt thou be in the field. I mean, even in the field, you feel me? We can't grow anything. Our crops is horrible. It's dying. The earth is polluted. The air is polluted. There's nothing that we can really do, even if we go and try to make our own business. You feel me? I mean, there are some successful black businesses, but most of the time, a lot of the times, the businesses don't work out. They're forced to sell, stuff like that. All right. Uh, all right. We're gonna drop down to 32. We're gonna drop down to 32. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 32. All right. Uh, Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people. All right. So as you know, during the transcontinental slave trade, the triangle trade, whatever they want to call it, we were getting sold. Getting kidnapped, put on ships, and sold. Our daughters and our sons would be given unto another people. Who are the other people? We're gonna find out in a little bit. All right. Given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them. Because even in this day and age, back then they would rip our they'll let a sister have a kid, and they'll take the baby fresh out the womb, and they'll sell the baby without even giving the mom a chance to breastfeed. In some cases they just killed the baby just to emotionally mess up the female. So stuff like that. It was a lot of messed up stuff going on. But even in today's age, CPS, they can just knock on your door, say we got a call when they never got a call, and poof, take your kids. And what can you do? You try to put your hands on someone or you try to defend your family, you go to jail. You know. Now you're really in a deeper hole than you was before. All right. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fare with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand. Because again, like I said previously, we don't have any leadership, and at the same time, the normal so-called black is the household of the so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, the father is usually not there. You feel me? Whether it's from arguing with the woman, with the wife, or just they just couldn't hack it, or there's a lot of things that go behind that. But a lot of the fathers are not in the household, and in a lot of cases, that's what a lot of these women want, which is horrible because they think that they can go out and they don't need a man to get what they want. They think they can just go, they kick the man out and go on welfare and stuff like that. You feel me? And then not knowing that it's doing a lot of damage to the kid, because without a father, it's not just the mom, but without a father too, that kid grows up very emotionally messed up, don't know how to release his anger, stuff like that. And in a lot of cases, a lot of these women don't know how to take care of a male child because a lot of people, grew up in single parent households and single mother households at that. So even men growing up, they grow up and they don't know how to what's the word explain their emotions or vent, or actually talk. They always resort to violence and anger, stuff like that. So just because not having a father in the household, it does a lot on the kid. All right. Men and women too. Slakia. Women too. You feel me? A woman growing up in a single household without the father, that has a lot of emotional damage to the female too, because she goes sometimes she goes out against the mom. She wants to go out and run the streets, you know, do drugs, hang out with the wrong crowd, and bad stuff happens to a lot of things would happen to a female that doesn't have the knowledge of a father that's in the household. Okay. All right. Let's get down to 28 and 48. All right. Let's drop down to 48. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies. All right. So it's saying that we'll serve our enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee. So again, in slavery, and it says we would be forced to serve our enemies who had us in slavery. The so-called white man, they had us in slavery. So that would be our biblical enemy, according to the Most High, according to the Bible. You feel me? We're not meant to get along. We're not meant to come together and hold hand in hand and sing songs, kumbaya. Everything's gonna get better. When are we gonna come together? It's not in God's plan or the Most High's plan to for us to be together. There's always gonna be a nation on top. There's always gonna be a nation on the bottom. But until we get into the Lord's commandments and follow this Bible, we're always gonna be at the bottom. Okay. We're always going to hate each other. We're always going to try and cling to the other nations or try to be like the other nations. Like, just try to do what they do, and it'll never happen. It'll never work out. All right. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst, and in nakedness and in want of all things. So that right there, in hunger and thirst and in nakedness and want of all things. Basically, we're gonna have to go to our enemies in any form of way. If you want food, you got to go to your enemy. Y'all like them subs, y'all like them steak subs. Guess who's making the steak subs at the corner? Ishmael. All right. Uh, 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 the so-called Jewish man. They got the kosher stores and all that. And wherever you go, even if you want to go buy some shoes, you got to go to you got to go to your oppressor, some form of way. You got to give them money just to get what you need to get by, food, clothes, roof over your head. You know, um, you know, a lot of people they even to get married. You feel me? Which in the Bible, sex is marriage. But even to get married, they go to the white man to sign a little piece of paper saying, "Okay, y'all two is together. Till death do you part." Okay, so in nakedness and in want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. He shall put a yoke of iron. As you know, going through the transatlantic slave trade, we had the big iron bars around our necks with the chains. We were attached. Even when they put us on the boat, we had the yokes of iron around our necks, around our hands, around our feet, and we had to, lay in a ship for however long it took for them to get from there to the Americas, and we were chained up, a yoke of iron. Even runaway slaves, they would, or yeah, runaway slaves, they would, if they would catch them, they'd put the yoke of iron around their neck and walk them around like a dog. You feel me? Upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee, and pretty much until he'll destroy you, which is physically and mentally. All right, because a lot of us still have that yoke of iron around. We still have that yoke of iron around our brains, and we still thinking that we're blacks, or Puerto Ricans, or Dominicans, or Haitians, or stuff like that. We're still going by the name that the oppressors gave put on us. All right, we're not spicks, we're not wetbacks, we're not niggas, we're not none of that. You feel me? If you are a so-called black man on your father's side, you are the from the tribe of Judah of the 12 tribes of Israel. If you are a Puerto Rican, so-called Puerto Rican, you are from the tribe of Ephraim of the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay? If you are a so-called Cuban, you are from the tribe of Manasseh of the 12 tribes of Israel. All right, so on and so forth. The Haitians, the so-called Haitians, they are the tribe of Levi. You feel me? And I mean, if you really break it down, what does the term Haiti mean? You feel me? It means hell. That's what was it? Greek? Is it Greek for hell? Yeah, Haiti was hell. That's pretty much the Greek version of hell. Okay, so stuff like that. They put the pie words and stuff like that on us. Uh, okay, let's go to verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth. I mean, in all the biggest, some of the, well, not some of the biggest, the biggest, what was it? Not the country, empires, the biggest empires, the Greek Empire, the Roman Empire, uh, those empires, their symbol was usually an eagle, because the eagle, it's a very fierce animal. It's it flies higher than it's one of the you know biggest birds and stuff like that. So and it's swift. It moves quick, grabs its prey, keeps pushing. So it's real good at what it does, which is destruction. I guess you can. But all the biggest empires, what I'm trying to say is the biggest empires they had the eagle. You feel me? Even on the quarter right now, you look on the quarter, there's an eagle on the back of our quarter. You look on the back of a dollar bill, and they have an eagle holding the arrows, basically letting you know that we're a warrior, we're a war state. Okay. Uh, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. Again, when we were in the motherland Israel, and when they came from the other end of the earth, and we didn't understand their language, so we wasn't sure if they wanted to be friends or go to war. And they talk smooth, so they pretty much we were captured by the so-called Africans, the Hamites, and we were sold to the oppressor or the white man. You feel me? A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor for the young. Again, they don't care if you're 2 months old, 2 years old, 20 years old, or 92 years old. All right. If you're not, if you're a so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, they're gonna kill you. All right. The Trail of Tears for the so-called Native Americans, they made them walk from pretty much from the East Coast of the United States all the way to the West Coast of the United States. And if you were too old and you couldn't keep up, they killed you. All right. Birthing a woman that was pregnant, she couldn't walk it, she couldn't walk, so they would basically cut the stomach open, take the baby out, kill the baby, and just keep it pushing. All right, so they didn't care if you were not even born yet. They don't care if you're too old. You're gonna walk. You're gonna do what we say, or you're dead. That's pretty much it. That's all they. You feel me? They don't show no favor for the young or old. All right, Tamir Rice. That was a young brother. Can't exactly remember his age. He was about 10, 11, 12 maybe, and he was in a playground playing with a little toy gun, and the cops came and shot him. You feel me? For no reason. They didn't bother to ask him if the gun was real. They didn't, they just came out with guns blazing like the Wild Wild West. All right, killed a young brother for no reason because he was playing with a toy. I seen the video. It's Salakia for the sidebar, but I seen the video. There was a little Edomite boy, and he's in the park and he's got a toy gun, but he took the cat part off, the orange part, to let you know it's a fake gun. And he's like got a little girl on the ground, and he's like crying, like he's actually like when he wants to shoot her. You feel me? This little boy was about 10, 11 years old. He actually wanted to, you feel me? But nobody called the cops. Nothing happened. You feel me? Everybody recorded. It was funny. That was that. You feel me? But Tamir Rice was playing, minding his own business, wasn't pointing the gun at nobody. Cops came and shot him for no reason. You feel me? So no favor for the young or old. Daniel Prude. You feel me? That brother was, you feel me? He's an older brother, but at the same time, he had a mental illness and they didn't care. You feel me? That brother was naked in the winter, and about six cops came, forced his head down, did push-ups on him, and in the middle of the winter, this man's naked. They didn't bother to get him a blanket. They didn't give him coffee. They didn't ask if he wanted to get in the car and warm up. They just immediately jumped out, tackled him, choked him out, did push-ups on this man. All right, so they don't show no favor for the young or the old. All right, they'll kill you. They'll kill us. Okay. We should not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. All right. So, all right, let's go into 28 and 64. Okay, 28 and 64. All right. Okay. So yeah, they'll kill you for not moving fast enough, and they're just devils, man. The devil that the Bible speaks of. Okay. And it's not just the so-called white man. It's all the other nations. The so-called Arabs, or as the Ishmaelites, as the Bible calls them, the Chinese, the Japanese. They don't. You feel me? Everyone's going around. A few Asian women get killed, and it's stop Asian hate and protests, and they even got laws passed. If you put your hands on an Asian person, you're going to jail for a few years. You feel me? But so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we've been getting oppressed for 400 plus. All right, and still nothing. We haven't got a law passed. We've been fight every time we fought. We got pepper sprayed. We got maced, beat. We got dogs sicked on us, hoses, everything. You know, so no matter what we do, everyone's against us. All right. 28 and 64. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the other end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. So there we go, right there. You feel me? The Lord shall scatter thee among all people. So yeah, we intermingle. If basically we're scattered everywhere. What is it? One of the basketball players went to what, Vietnam, or he went to some country, and he had a bunch of kids. You feel me? So we're scattered. Everywhere. No matter, we're everywhere. All right. And thou shalt serve other gods, which neither nor you nor thy fathers have known. So even now, we're worshiping other gods. There's people that want to be Buddhists, want to follow Buddha, which that's not our culture. That's not our, that's not what we follow. Want to be there's brothers out there that want to be Hindu. There's brothers out there following Islam, trying to be Muslim. You feel me? They want to worship that rock. They want to, I still don't get why, bro. I'm not gonna get into it, but yeah, there's a whole lot of, I seen never mind. But anyways, yeah, but I want to follow even Christianity. You feel me? The wood and the stone. The wood will be that Christian cross with the Caesar Borgia that everyone thinks that so-called Yahushua, not so-called, that everyone thinks Yahushua was a so-called white man when he wasn't. All right, so that they follow the cross as like I guess a memory of, like, okay, let's say if your brother or your sister got shot, or your mom or your dad, anyone got shot and killed, would you walk around with a pendant of a gun to commemorate the death of your loved ones? That's a bit idiotic. You feel me? So I don't, they want to worship that Christian cross, that stone. Um, they want to follow the statues, stuff like that. They want to follow the other gods, which are not our own, which, are not of our culture or our customs. Okay. So yeah, have known even wood and stone. So yeah, that's that. We want to follow other nations. We want to be Christian, which that's never mind. But I don't, through all the stuff going on right now, I don't even understand why people are still trying to come together with the nations that don't like them. Okay, like I like to say, why would I join hands with someone who wouldn't want to piss on me while I'm on fire? That's what But like, seriously, they don't. You feel me? It's not meant for them to like us. It's not meant for us to like them. You feel me? They were made to serve. But if we don't listen to the commandments of the Most High, we're the ones that end up having to serve. You know. So okay, all right. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Let me say that one more time. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. All right. So we had already went through the captivity in Egypt. All right. So this is after we got out of Egypt. This was after Moses got the commandments and everything like that. So this is after Egypt. The prophecy is, the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. All right. Egypt is synonymous with bondage, because when we were in Egypt, we were in bondage. We were slaves. We were servants. You know, building the pyramids. We built up their economy, and we didn't get no credit for it. We were getting treated very bad, stuff like that. So we would go into Egypt again. going to Egypt again on ships. So yeah, we were servants in Egypt. So we were going to basically we were going to bondage again with ships. All right, and that's pretty much the transatlantic slave trade. All right, we were put on ships and chains. We were brought over here and forced to do hard labor, build up a nation for a people that we don't even speak their language. We were forced to speak their language, beat into making their businesses, their homes, taking care of their kids, you know, and Egypt and stuff like that. Shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. Thou shalt see it no more again. That's basically our homeland, Israel. We won't see our homeland no more again because after we went into slavery, the so-called Jewish man moved into Israel and basically said we're the new Jews, which they're not, because they're going through a whole heap of hell right now in that land that's not theirs, that they think is theirs. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies. There go that word enemies again. All right. So first we were our enemies would come from a land afar whose nation we don't speak. And then here it goes again. We shall be sold unto our enemies. All right. So if we're going to be sold unto our enemies, that means that the people that had us in slavery on the west coast of Africa, the so-called Africans, they are also our enemies. All right. They had us in slavery too, and they sold us to our enemies for bondmen and bondwomen. Basically, bondmen and bondwomen are slaves or servants, slaves pretty much. And no man shall buy you. No man shall buy you as no leadership. There's going to be nobody to break you out of that captivity and save you. All right. So if we didn't follow the laws of the Most High, we would go into Egypt again on ships. Go into Egypt again on ships, and basically go through a whole heap of hell like we did in Egypt. But when this land right here is spiritual Egypt. All right, the so-called United States of America are basically is they try to be like Egypt, like the Washington Monument. It's an obelisk. You feel me? That's Egyptian architecture. Um, look on the back of your dollar bill. There's a pyramid. You feel me? There's pyramids. Um, there's a lot of, and then even with the pyramid, it says, "In God we trust." You feel me? Like back in them days, they worship their pharaoh or their whoever was in charge. They worship them like a god. All right, so it's synonymous with bondage or you know. So all right, okay, but yeah, basically, so yeah, we would go into bondage and no man will buy us. And still to this day, we are still in bondage. Don't let no one think or tell you otherwise. You still got to go to work for the oppressor, whether no matter what nation they're from, because they're pretty much, all the oppressors. Unless, that's why we need to separate and do our own thing, because as long as we're trying to be part of this country, then it's not going to work out. We're always going to be killed. We're always going to be persecuted, and it's about time to get into these commandments and statutes of the Most High. In the ISUPK, that's what we do. We take our people and we raise them up to separate from the oppressor, you know. Let me see. Let me go. Oh, Salakia. Anyway, Salakia. But yeah. So It's always gonna be rough until we get into the truth, into this book right here, the law, statutes, and commandments of this book right here. We're always gonna be slaves, or we're always gonna be oppressed. You know, we're always gonna be gunned down. Our kids are not gonna be safe. Um, our jobs even. You feel me? Like we do these videos to wake our people up. We risking, a lot of us risking jobs, and but we're out here for the people. We're out here for the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. All right, nobody else. We're not here for the Jewish man. We're not here for the so-called Arabs, the so-called Japanese, the Chinese. We're not here for none of them. We're only here for the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, or the 12 tribes of Israel. All right. All right. Let me see. Give me a second. Oh, oh. Okay. Slocky, I can't. Okay, Slocky, I can't find the scripture that I want to pull out. But basically, the scripture says, "He that leadeth in the captivity shall go into captivity." So it happened to us when we it happened to us, so it's got to happen to them. All right. And let me see. To a lot of them people that's out there saying that oh, God loves everybody and stuff like that. The Most High does not love everyone. All right. He only loves the 12 tribes of Israel. He only loves the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. All right. Matter of fact, let's go back to Deuteronomy. All right, let me see. 28. Okay. Going back to Deuteronomy chapter 27 and verse 1. And it says, "And Moses with the elders of Israel." All right. So they didn't sit and gather with the elders of all the other nations of the so-called Egyptians. They didn't ask the Egyptians to sit down and have a meeting and say, um, um, do y'all want to be included in our covenant? No, they didn't. You feel me? They sat amongst themselves on what they're gonna do with our community, with the nation of Israel. All right, they didn't go to the other African tribes, and well, we're not African, but they didn't go to any other nations and ask them, do you want to be included in this? All right, it was straight up Israel. All right, commanded the people, saying, "Keep all the commandments which I command you." Not everybody, not all the nations, not not everybody. It's you, so-called Israel, the Israelites. All right. All right. All right. Just give me a second. Okay. All right. Deuteronomy 28 and 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, not everyone's God, not all the other nations' God. There's only one God, but that one God is the God of Israel. All right. To observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. So he's not saying all the nations are going to get brought up if they keep these laws. All right. If they want to keep the laws, they could. But at the end of the day, the law was given to the 12 tribes of Israel. Thus saith the Lord. Okay. So it was given to the 12 tribes of Israel and only the 12 tribes of Israel to follow. All right. All these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God. So it's basically saying keep the laws, follow everything. The Most High follow everything I say, and you're gonna be on top. But once you don't, you're gonna fall, and you're gonna fall hard. Just like if just like if um okay, let's read Deuteronomy 28:15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So again, even in the sense of a child being scolded by his father or his parent, if a parent if the father told his kid, don't go to the corner and show them people, or even don't be within eyesight or earshot. You feel me? If I can't hear you, then you're too far. All right. And then the kid decides to go with his friends and go around the corner, go down the street, or even go up to the corner and chill with the people that his father specifically told him not to go to. He's gonna get scolded. He's gonna get punished. You feel me? Like a loving father would to their kid. You feel me? It's not really like I'm telling you this just but it's more of a I'm telling you this because I love you. All right. If you don't, you feel me, keep my laws, and that means you don't love me. Matter of fact, that's another scripture. I can't remember it right now, but if you love me, keep my commandments. All right, that's the definition of love right there. Everyone, so people don't want to listen. You feel me? If you don't listen to your parents, then you don't love your parents. All right. Just like if we don't keep the laws of the Most High, we don't love the Most High. Okay. So Deuteronomy 28:15 or 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. There it goes. What I'm just going over these scriptures again, just in case people didn't catch it the first time or whatever. But cursed shalt thou be in the city. We can't go anywhere. We can't really do anything without being gunned down, interrogated, persecuted, whatever the case may be. You go to the store, everyone thinks you're stealing. You can't walk down the street without looking like a suspect. I don't know how the hell that's when there's whole so-called white men out here walking down the street with AR-15s and AK-47s, and they're just defending the community. I don't get that. You feel me? But yeah, fitting the description, stuff like that, stupid stuff like that. We're cursed because we don't want to follow the laws of the Most High. All right. Cursed shalt thou be in the field. Same situation. We can't grow no crops. Even if you decide to do your own little garden, the city will come in and force you to try to have a permit, or you feel me, in some form of way, they'll try to mess up your situation. You can't do anything. All right. Let's go down to all right. 32. All right. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 32. Just going over the scriptures again, just in case you didn't catch it the first time, or, you know, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people. All right. Given unto another people, like in days of the slave, in days of the slave, that sounds slacking. Back in the, back when we were going through the slave trade, we was enslaved by the oppressor, the so-called white man. Our kids were just taken from us and given, just given, taken, stripped down, put on an auction block. Okay, how much? $2. Let me get $2, $2, $3. Okay, we got a young girl here. She could cook, she could clean. You feel me? Same thing with our sons. You feel me? We got a young buck here. He can lift about 30 pounds, 40 pounds. He can do this, he can do that, stuff like that. They'll demean us and beat us and stuff like that. Sell us for cheap. Sell us like chattel slavery. Okay. And thine eyes shall look and fare with longing for them all the day long. That was something that we had to go through. That was a curse that we went through during slavery. They'll just come in the middle of the night, take our kids, even the slave master. You feel me? If they wanted to rape one of our sons or even daughters or sons, they'll come in the middle of the night whenever, take them, do whatever they want, bring them back. You feel me? Get the kids pregnant. All type of stuff. What was his name? One of the presidents. He's on the what is it? The $20 bill. Thomas. What is it? Jefferson, I think, or Andrew Jackson. One of them two was a real big slave owner, but he had sex with just about all his slaves and got all about damn near all of his slaves were his kids in some form of way. Now, it was weird. He was weird, but that just shows the white man is the devil the Bible speaks of. All right, that 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 building on the back of our of the United States nickel, that was his ranch, that was his slave plantation, where he did horrendous things to his slaves. All right. Given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fare with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand. And there it goes. You feel me? Even if a brother tried to fight to get his family back or something like that, he was killed. He was tortured. You feel me? Sold to another ranch or another plantation further away from where his kids are. So he'll never see his kids again. Or, same with the mothers too. So it was very emotional. I mean, very traumatizing to have your kid taken from you. All right. When you can't do anything. All right. Some people did try, they died, or, gave into another plantation or something like that. It got broken down even more. Okay. It's like, yeah. Okay. Let's go to 28 and 48. All right. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies. We shall serve our enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. So basically, coming into slavery, we were serving our enemies, our oppressors, the so-called white man. You feel me? We had to cook for them. We had to clean for them. We just from sun up to sundown out there picking cotton, tobacco, whatever it was, and we had to work. You feel me? If you didn't want to work, you got beat. Sometimes you got killed, and it was all because we didn't keep the laws of the Most High. We didn't follow this Bible. We didn't follow his word. In hunger and in thirst and in nakedness. There goes in hunger and in thirst. If you're hungry, who do you got to go to? Burger King. Who runs Burger King? The oppressor, so-called white man. Wendy's, so-called white man. You want to go get a steak sub? You got to go to the Arabs. You gotta Chinese food. I'm surprised people still even eat Chinese food after everything that's been happening since last year. It's crazy out here, but whatever. And in hunger and in thirst, you know, you want clothes. People, we go to Foot Locker, and for some reason, we got to spend the most amount of money on the simplest stuff. The $200-300 for a T-shirt, uh, 300-400 for some pants, $500 jackets. Like we're we have to go to our enemies to buy those things. Okay, and in want of all things. So yeah, again, there's some businesses out there, some black owned businesses, but a lot of the black owned businesses they end up failing in some form of way. Whether the oppressor shuts it down or it could be anything. Okay, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. And that's what he did. He put a yoke of iron on our neck, and he physically, whooped us, tormented us, enslaved us. But it got to a specific point through so many hundreds of years of slavery that we're mentally enslaved now. We think we Christians. We think that the white man is our friend. You feel me? We think the other nations is our friend when they're really not. They don't give a damn about us. The so-called Africans, they call us a kata. You feel me? That means cotton picker. You feel me? The Africans know that we are not the same people. Regardless of skin color, we are of different nations. Matter of fact, I can get that out my Bible dictionary. Uh, Let me see. Here it go right here. This is the Zondervan's Bible Compact Dictionary, and this is Ham. You feel me? Ham is the progenitor. Let me just read it. Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor. What is the progenitor? Basically, the progeny. He was the first one. You feel me? He was I guess you can't say creator, but he was pretty much the creator of the Hamitic race. Okay, he became the progenitor of the dark races, but not the Negroes. All right, you can look this up. All right, you ain't got to take my word for it. Look it up. You can Google it. Okay, Ham. Yeah, he became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites. His indecency, pretty much. That's it. So Ham or the Hamites, the Hamitic people, which are the so-called Africans that you see today, taking showers in the pee and all that. Those people are not the same as the so-called African Americans, or we're not the same people. You can look at the all types of evidence. It's there for you. Look it up, Google it. Don't take my word for it. All right. Um. All right. This is verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth. Again, most of those major empires, the Greek Empire, the Roman Empire, um, a lot of the major empires that ruled back then, their their symbol on their flag was an eagle. And even today, the American, the so-called the country, the United States of America, their flag specifically is not an eagle, but the American eagle. There you go, the American eagle, the bald eagle. That's basically like the symbol that everyone likes to use. If you look on the back of the quarter, look on the back of the coins, that the eagle there holding the arrow and the olive branch. Basically, you can get peace or you can get war. You feel me? So even on the coins, they're letting you know this is what we're about. On the back of the dollar bill, you see a pyramid.
Well, no, that goes into the Egyptian Slovakia, but even on the dollar bill, there's the eagle, again holding the olive branch and the arrows. It's all over the place. You know, it's all over the place. They 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 they're very swift. You feel me? They go in there, destroy, and get the hell out of there real quick. That's what they do. They go and they take and they keep it pushing. All right. As swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. So again, when the so-called white man came and bought us off of the Africans, and during the start of the slave trade goes a little farther back than 1619 because the so-called Puerto Ricans, the Taino Indians, and the Arawak Indians, um, they were the first ones enslaved by Spain, in which Spain they even had an eagle was their symbol too. So yeah, pretty much yeah, but and it's all the same. The eagle is basically the symbol of our oppressor. Um, a nation of fierce countenance, a fierce countenance, basically a lot of firepower. You feel me? Big. Their uh, their military is very big. Not afraid to use it. You know. So nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor for the young. So um nor show favor for the young. So they have no regards. They'll kill young or old. Young brother Tamir Rice, he was gunned down by the police for playing with a toy gun. Um, who else? So many of them. It's not even. Uh, it was a lot. I can't think of that many. Trayvon Martin, he was a young brother. You know, he was what 15, 16, 17 when he got killed. He didn't have a gun. He was just going to the store, coming from the store, getting snacks. Um, there's just a lot. If I'm not mistaken, a young kid in Rochester got shot. There was a shootout between two people, and somehow a little kid got shot. I think the kid died. I'm not sure, but it's horrible. But that's besides the point. The so-called oppressor, the white man, is the one that comes, and they have no regards for the young or the old. They'll come and kill with no recompense. And let me see. We shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor for the young. Yeah, so pretty much they don't have no regards for you. They'll come kill your mom. They do whatever they want. The white man is the devil the Bible speaks of. All right. So let me see. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and 64. Go over these last couple scriptures and that'll be that. All right, it's 28 and 64. Okay. And the Lord, this is Deuteronomy chapter 28 and 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. So there it goes again. We were taken into slavery under different nations, not just the white man, but they were the main ones. All right. And with the Christianity, they mentally destroyed us. The Spaniards, they conquered the Taino Indians, and they mentally destroyed them with the Catholicism and stuff like that. Um, they okay, but we're scattered and we basically took on the oppressor's religion, or we're trying to be like the oppressors. That we want to, we think we're African, we think we're Spanish, stuff like that. And we try to follow, the religions of our oppressors, the Christianity, the cross, the white Caesar, the or the white Jesus, as you would know him better. Caesar Borgia, which is the second son of the sixth Pope of Rome. He decided, to make a portrait of his son and tell everyone that that was, the son of God, or Jesus, Yahushai, which is not true. That is not an accurate description or a depiction of Yahushai, which the world ignorantly calls Jesus. All right, but yeah, scattered. We were scattered. We're there's black. What is it? There's Hispanics, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans pretty much everywhere. During the beginning of the transatlantic slave trade, they took like I said, the Taino Indians, the Arawak Indians, and they brought them from those islands of they, what's the name of the island? I know it was the island of Borinquen, um, and the West Indies, the Caribbean around there. You feel me? They went there, and they took the Indians, brought them back to England, Spain. So there are so-called blacks, Hispanic. There are brothers and sisters in other countries: Spain, Europe, Portugal. Shoot, I seen a video with a black Russian. Yeah, we're all over the place, scattered everywhere. Um, Thinking that we're the other nation, or we'll take on the customs of the other nations. Okay. Um, and we're trying to follow their religions and stuff like that. Okay. Let's go down. Let's keep on going. Verse 65. And among these nations shalt thou find no ease. We're not going to find no ease, no rest, nowhere. Okay. Neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest, which means, again, even in the slavery, we had to work from sun up to sundown. And even now, today, in today's society, we still sun up to sundown. Brothers wake up 6 in the morning, work till 6 in the afternoon. Then they got to come home, deal with their families. You feel me? A lot of stuff to do. It's never gonna be no rest nowhere. But the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart and failing of eyes and sorrow of mind. So yeah, we're gonna be scattered, and we're gonna be taking on the customs of the other nations. Um, let's see, verse 68, Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt. Egypt is synonymous with bondage, because when we were in Egypt for them 400 years, it was we were in slavery. We were under another nation. We were oppressed. So we would be brought into Egypt again with ships. That sounds like slave trade to me. Um, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. See it no more again as our homeland, Israel. That was our homeland. That is where the so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans come from. And um, that's where we come from. So we will never see it no more again. And there you shall be sold unto your enemies. So this is putting this is basically letting us know that our oppressors, or the so-called white man, the Jewish man, they are not our people. You feel me? They are not. They are our enemies. All right, according to God, according to the Most High, according to the Bible, they are not our people. Okay, and they are our oppressors. They are our enemies. All right, it was never meant for us to come together with them. It was never meant for us to come hand in hand, sing songs, kumbaya. It'll never work. All right, it'll never work. Thou shalt see. Thou shalt be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. So there again, you feel me? Bondmen and bondmen and bondwomen.
are basically slaves. You feel me? Servants, slaves. Basically, you're under hard bondage. When they say jump, you got to say how high. All right, and no man shall buy you. And basically, we would have no leadership, no rulership to come and get us out. You feel me? And also, that goes into back then when we had people in servitude, when we were on top and we had people in servitude, we actually had we could actually buy, you know, our friends, our loved ones out of slavery. You feel me? But in this case, no man shall buy you. All right, so that means there's gonna be nobody there to come for us. You feel me? We're pretty much on our own, not on our own, but more or less we got to take, you know, that them curses. Okay. Um. Let me see. Okay. We're gonna go into the curses until we come back to the laws of the Most High. Um. Matter of fact, let me go into Matthew, and that's not the case because a lot of the Christians they like to say that oh I could eat pork because when Yahweh Shah was put on the cross, that was basically that he basically done away with the law, which is not true. Let me see. Let me give you a couple scriptures out of this, and I can do the next one. Matthew. All right, Matthew chapter 5 verse 17. This is a lot of this is a lot of Christians or a lot of people in general. They think that they can do whatever the hell they want because when Yahweh Shai fulfilled the prophecy or and sacrificed himself for our sins, they think that that was basically saying, okay, the law is done away with, which is not. All right. This is what Yahweh Shai said, uh, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. This is Matthew chapter 5, verse 17. This is in red letters. All right. So this is coming straight from Yahweh Shai's mouth. All right. Think not that I am come to destroy the law. So he's letting people know because he knew that in the future or yeah, later on, people were gonna say, "Oh, we can do whatever the hell we want because he fulfilled the prophecy." That's he's letting you know that's not the case. All right. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets, because even after he was crucified, the prophets still went out and they still taught. They still went to the four corners and told the Israelites to keep the law. All right, they didn't go around saying, "Okay, well, he's dead now. Let's do whatever the hell we've been doing now." That's not how it went down. They actually said, "Keep the law." You feel me? Yahweh Shai said, "Keep the law," so it's keep the law. All right. There's no ifs ands or buts about it. I don't know why people got to be so stiff necked. Okay. Or the prophets, I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. Okay. I'm not coming to destroy the law. I'm coming to fulfill the law. He didn't say I was coming to stop the law. I'm no, it's keep the law. Keep the law until after I'm gone. Okay. Verse 18. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass. So he's again telling people, I'm telling you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled. And there's still some prophecies that have not been fulfilled yet. Okay. So he's basically saying until the day that the earth explodes or the earth, you know, heaven or earth. So you know how when people think used to think that the sky was gonna fall and all the stars was gonna fall out, that's basically what he's saying. You feel me? And when that day comes, then you can say that the law is destroyed. But as long as Earth is going to be around, as long as the stars in the sky are still around, shall nothing from this book, nothing from this book right here, nothing is going to pass. Not one jot nor one tittle. It shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled. All right. So that right there is letting you know that was just a small. You know, I can get into the rest of this
next week. But I just wanted to, brace up on some things. So the Israelites, the so-called Israelites, they were all dark-skinned people, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. They were dark-skinned people. They ranged from dark to light. Um, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the ones that are going through the curses that went through the transatlantic slave trade, the ones that are getting bullied, the ones that are getting killed, oppressed, put in jail, kids getting put in cages. Um, those are the true and biblical Jews according to this Bible. Okay. Let me see if I can go back right quick before I finish this. Let me see. Just give me a second. Okay. Okay, just give me a second. Slack it, just give me a second. Where is it? Okay, Salaki, I can't find the scripture that I want right now. Wow. Okay, Salaki. I'm gonna get into it next week. Okay, Salaki. Yeah, I'm gonna get into it next week. I can't find it right now. But I'm gonna wrap it up for now. And I'm gonna wrap it up and we can go into that next week. We can, go further into who are the Israelites and why are we going through what we going through. Okay. This is Officer 50 Sharash of the ISUPK under Commanding General Yahanna coming out of 1 West 125th Street. Um, Shalom. Shalakia. I'd like to say Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai Barakathum to the brothers and Yahweh Shemar Alatha by Shem Yahweh Shai to the sisters. Um, till next time, Shalom.